Y'all watch reality TV shows, and on reality TV shows, they're like, roll the tape. That's what I feel like this moment is. It's a roll the tape moment, because there were so many beautiful reflections that occurred during my birthday that I don't want to miss anything. So I got my handy dandy iPad so that I could look back, and I'm going to share the moments with you as I am viewing it. So yeah, I may be looking up and down, but we're going to make sure that you get all of this goodness. I don't know why I like to say shall we, but shall we? We shall.
My word for you is dope.
Oh,
Right?
yes.
That's good. All of these words, and I haven't seen all of them, encompasses you to a certain degree, right? So the one word I can think of that describes you is just completely dope. Everything about you. And I appreciate you, and I wish you a million more birthdays that I can share with you. I enjoy spending time with you, all the times that we do, the calls that we have, the things that we do, the conversations that we have, all of that. And it's just dope. And when I leave you with thought, and I leave you in a better space. And I love you for that.
My friend Rebecca said that. I am really seriously moved by the words that Rebecca shared. And it reminds me of a reflection that I have as it relates to birthdays. It wasn't until I turned 40 that I realized that no one was going to create the celebration that I deserve unless I created it for myself. So this is a story of an open nester who create birthday celebrations with nothing but pure intentionality. I was 11 years old. I was like 10 or 11. I gave myself my own birthday party. And it was the only birthday party that I would have until I turned 40. I remember baking a cake, inviting some neighborhood friends over, and the cake was horrible, by the way. It was, when you bake a cake and it has that like thickness at the bottom of it, because I don't know if it's too much oil or too much something. Anyway, it wasn't good. But I got some chips. I got my mother to do my hair, and I invited folks over because I was like, I deserve a birthday, honey. I would obviously have birthdays thereafter, but there was no party. I was married at one time, which you all know. And so my husband would give me gifts, and the children were young, and they would celebrate me and honor me, and we'd have cake. And sometimes I would go out with friends, and sometimes I'd go out with family, but I never had a party. And when I turned 40, I was saying to myself, Dag, I really want to be able to have a party, but finances weren't where they needed to be or where I wanted them to be at the time. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let that stand in the way. I'm not going to let money stand in the way. I'm going to give myself a party. So I like to call that 40th birthday a community party, baby, because the community came together and supported the girl. I was able to rent a space out. I had a friend of mine who DJ'd the party for free. I had a couple of bottles. Some people bought a couple of bottles. I had a friend who got me a cake. I had another friend who bought some food. So it was like a potluck style party in a rental space, and we had so much fun. It was phenomenal. And it was from that day forward that I decided that I was going to constantly and consistently celebrate myself. I don't know what that was going to look like, but I was going to gather friends and families together and make sure that I'd be celebrated. So this birthday, which you just saw with Rebecca speaking, and I'll get more to that later, was really about me celebrating myself. And it wasn't even a milestone, honey. That was 13 years ago that I set that intentions in motion, and it's still going. So before I get into the moment that Rebecca had just shared, and you get to really see what that was about and why she said what she said, we got to back up, right? So this is going to be a few parts. It's the preparation part, it's the planning part, it's the day of my actual birthday, which was on a Thursday, and then I had something on a Friday, and then we finally get to that moment that you just saw with Rebecca. Let's roll the tape. Girl, I was like thinking and planning my outfit, and I wanted to be able to wear something that was like sexy because I wanted to show my legs. And I'm like, good legs they are, honey. The girl got some good old legs. I didn't realize it until I looked back at this video. I said the legs are legging. So I got the legs, and I wanted to wear it as a dress, but I called my sister up. She was like, I don't think the jacket is really fitting in the way that it needs to fit. Like it's cute, but it's not, it's a little ill-fitting. So she suggested that maybe I put something up under it. So the catsuit that I put under it wasn't what I was going to wear, but I was just trying to demonstrate or see what that would really look like had I gone that route. So I needed to find a place to have my brunch. I decided that I was going to do it at PB Brasserie, which is a place in Harlem. I had eaten there before, and I'm really big on like customer service and good service, etc. And also like beautiful aesthetic. The place is beautiful, it's pretty new, and they had a space in the back that was semi-private. So I went to explore, had booked the place, etc. And so on this particular day, I was like, let me go test out the food, because it had got mixed reviews in terms of the brunch menu. And I was like, the place may be pretty, but people are spending their money, honey, and I need the food to be fooding. So I went, I tested it out. And while I was testing the food out, I got a menu, and I decided I was going to do a prefix menu. So I do this prefix menu. I'm getting the menu, selecting the things off the menu. I'm tasting the food, trying the food. Something in my brain prompted me to put down like a time that the food arrived. And the time that I ordered the food and the time that the food arrived. And it was about a 30 minutes. And it wasn't even that crowded. And I said, well, it's 30 minutes and not even that crowded. What's going to happen when I actually have my brunch on a Saturday and it's probably more crowded? So that's in that moment I decided that I was going to do this Google Doc, that I was going to send out the prefix menu in advance. And then I was going to, so people could choose their meals, and then I can take what they've chosen and give it to the restaurant so that the meals are like really prepared for the time that we're coming, at least a good 20 minutes after we arrive. And so that's what I did. And I just want to say that unfortunately there was still some hiccups, because most of the people food came out on time. The food that did not come out on time was the chicken and waffles, and you'd have thought that would have been the first thing out, but it wasn't. Anyway, I digress. I'm showing my, my good fits and stuff, all the stuff. And baby, wait a minute. Hey, let's roll back the tape. The booty is juicy, honey. Little booties matter. Little booties matter. Wear the blazer, what I was going to do, what this look is going to look like. And then my hair's all over the place because I had decided that I was going to get a bob. Now, I think a bob is cute. I think a bob is sexy. I think a bob is mature. You know what I'm saying? I think the bob is for the grown and the sexy. And I am a woman of a certain age. And I was like, am I always going to be wearing these daggone braids? Even though braids are efficient, braids are easy, braids are low maintenance. I get it. But I wanted to give like rich bitch. I was going for rich bitch because I'm trying to get me a rich man, honey. So I was like, let me get this bob. And so I was like, I had my hair trying to decide whether or not I was going to do a side part, a middle part, like that's my natural hair out, trying to figure that out. I then head on over to the good old salon to get my hair done. Now, let me tell you, I got my hair done at the Beauty Mecca, and I found him on, I think I found him on Instagram. So, all good, found on Instagram. Now, here's the deal. I like to be on time for my hair appointments, so I was on time. I took a Uber, and especially when I'm paying my money, if I'm paying my money to be on time, I want my hair person to be on time too. Ask me if they were on time. Ask me. I dare you. You already know the answer. Anywho, when I got there, he was like, hello, but didn't acknowledge like the lateness. And honey, I don't play that. I said, before we can get going, you want to acknowledge the fact that you was late? You want to say something? So he did, and we commenced to having a good old time, honey. Again, side part, middle part, side part, middle part. What do you think I went with? You'll see in a moment. I went side part, but let me just tell you, the forehead. In the beginning, God said, let there be light. And clearly he said, let there be forehead, because a girl got a lot of it. I got a lot of forehead. And I just felt like if I had a middle part, it would kind of break the forehead a little bit. But now I'm looking at it, it just really let my forehead be front and center. But she cute anyway, forehead and all. She cute. And I got more wisdom. I got more wisdom. Cute. I forgot his name. But that's my hairstylist. Afterwards, I decided that I needed to get me something to eat. I went to Charles Fried Chicken, which I never eaten at before. Have you? At this particular day, they were having an event, so I didn't get a chance to eat the food. I was next door to the cake place where I was getting my cake, make my cake. I went in there, ordered my cake. I have not always celebrated myself. And because I have not always celebrated myself, I had to write myself a good old note, honey. And the note was, because you celebrate and care for so many others, so happy to see you focusing on yourself. Happy birthday and enjoy. Let me tell you something, honey. As an open nester, I'm making sure that I celebrate me. And I remind myself that I'm doing it every single day. I'm like, just in case you forget or in case you forgot. The next part we're going to move into, let's roll the tape. The next part is, people started calling me the day of my birthday. And I just need you to take a listen. Full to, you know, to live to see another day, another year. Absolutely. I felt a little sad. I didn't go to sleep. I didn't sleep really well last night. Even though I was exhausted. I didn't sleep till like 4 in the morning, 4:30. It was crazy. Anywho. And then when I finally felt like I was going to sleep, then I started busting out crying. I was like, Lord Jesus, what is happening? But yeah, then I was thinking about, I was like, oh, mommy would be calling me. She would have been my first call. I know, Vanessa. I use my birthday as a period of reflection. So just a lot of thoughts were running through my mind and heart. But
it's a blessing, you know, before we all celebrate. I think everybody always was happy to get to a next age, but the way that this world is set up right now, it is more than just that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Baby, it's more than just that. Every birthday, every second, every day is just like, it's phenomenal just to wake up and breathe breath. Right. So when you get to another 12 months, you know what I'm saying? And you're aging, baby, I love and admire you for always celebrating your birthday. That is just beautiful, as you should, as you deserve, my queen. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. See, even my sister knows that she enjoys how I celebrate myself. I've been doing that, like I said, for the last 13 years. It looks different ways on different years. Sometimes I would do like a birthday weekend. I remember one time we did a striptease class. So I would have I'd be like, okay, depending on what day my birthday is, I'd be like, on this day, we're doing a class. And then on this day, you can join me for brunch. And on this day, you can join me for dinner. I'm going to be at all these places. Here's the itinerary of where I'm going to be. It is up to you to join me at 1, 2, 3, or all of the events, right? But you can pick where you want to meet me at. And that's how I used to celebrate my birthday. And sometimes one year I actually just decided to go away on my own. But for the most part, my birthday is generally filled with a weekend of festivities, right? I do it for me, and I invite you to come along so that me could be we, and we could be 3 or 4 or 5 or how many ever we decide to do it. Acknowledging that, and I appreciate it. When she called, she was about to sing, and I said, hold that thought for a moment. And she was like, nah, sis, nah, you're not gonna catch me out there. Like, you about to record me. And I'm like, no, I'm not recording you. I didn't even press it. I lied. I was like, I didn't even press send. I didn't even press record. I'm not recording you. I was like, it took too long to do it. And anyway, I did it. She knew. She caught me. No, I didn't even press the button even with that. Shut up. No, sing my song, girl. I actually didn't press the button because I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, you got to press record for it to work.
I don't want to fall out, so let me seriously, since I ain't eaten 3 days.
Wait, what?
I'm on a fast.
Sit your fast ass down. What? Anyway, I told her to sit her fast ass down. Fast because she was fasting and doing something with my other sister, and then decided to extend it and just do a juice or water fast. I said, crazy, she's talking about I'm about to pass out. Girl, just go ahead and sing my song.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Okay, sis, you did that, even though I know that she wasn't the best, and she gonna be like, girl, I knew it. I knew you were recording. I did, sis. I hope you forgive me. I love you. And then the more birthday festivities calls in. My daughter calls me. It's funny having called on your birthday, and you damn near in your birthday suit.
Would you like to say that word? What's your lessons learned?
What's my lessons learned from 52? Well, how many do you want me to give you?
This one.
Oh, damn. Just one. Okay, I can do one. As my daughter asked me that question, and the answer I gave her when I was reflecting on it, I'm going to share with you what I said. I don't necessarily like what I said, but I think I have a better answer now that I've had a little bit more time to reflect on it. But let you listen to what I said then and what I'm going to say now. Failures, and I am not my successes.
Amen. Let's make it a positive.
So much of who I am extends beyond what I do or didn't do, right? It is really...
So that's your lessons.
That's my lesson.
The back part is your lessons learned, not the first part you said.
I thought so much of who I was attached to the things that I did, or to a title, or to my identity as mother. You don't have that job, or you don't have this situation, then it's like, so then does that lessen who I am because those things are no longer there? Or because relationships shift, does that mean that I'm no longer how I see myself? It's just really learning to not attach my way of being, my being, to that of the results or lack of results, but to still stay true to my core, which is love, generosity, support, fun, reminding myself that I'm anchored in those values. So that's what I've learned.
Amen.
So what I would say now really is that I've learned the lesson for 53 is to live in the moment, acceptance for myself. I've learned to forgive myself for a lot of things, is to have fun. I have done so much work as it relates to being a parent, single parent, at work and a community, all of that stuff. And I just feel like I didn't give myself enough time to have fun, right? And again, fun, you may have seen this from another video, but not fun from a place of, as a reward, but fun because I just deserve to have a good time. So I think being present, having fun is what I learned. Forgiving myself for any past transgressions or anything that I felt like I did that show the best version of myself. That I'm not going to always be able to have all of the answers. I like to have all the answers. I want to be able to figure things out before I kind of do the things. But living in the moment is really the best gift that I can give myself. To just know if I like that last answer, but we'll go with it for now. Youngest daughter calls me, Nyla Star, and she starts to run off all of these people who have called me. She's running down all of the names, honey, of all of her 5011 friends, honey. She got friends, and I was grateful for that.
From Kennedy.
Well, listen, my baby's already sweet, honey.
Yeah, and then like my other friends from school. You remember the dreadhead boy who we were trying to figure out my video, LJ.
Mm-hmm.
Wish you happy birthday, Madison. Wish you happy birthday.
And I said, thank you so much.
Lily, Asia.
Oh, all the babies. 1,011 friends you have, child.
I know. Even Alice. You remember Alice?
Yeah, how's she doing?
Yeah, she's doing.
Is she at Harvard?
She's at Howard.
Oh. She's at the Black H. Now we go into like the day of. So on my actual birthday, I did not plan anything to do on my birthday per se. What I was hoping to do was just like, well, see, I was already taking my lesson, which was to live in the moment. I didn't have anything planned because I knew I was going to have this upcoming brunch that was happening on Saturday, and my birthday was on a Thursday. And so I was like, well, we just going to see what the universe has in store. I knew that I was going to probably take myself out to dinner or lunch, or maybe get a massage, or do something, but I didn't know what it was. I was literally going to be spontaneous. And then what occurred was that my baba, he and I were going to go to lunch, and then lunch turned to dinner, and we ended up going to dinner instead. And we went to, where did we go? We went to Lido's to have dinner. I don't know what I'm trying to guess, and I got the evidence right in front of me. But like I, laid out my outfits and my fits. This is my fits for my birthday, my fits for the weekend, my fits for Friday, my fits for Saturday. Girl is cute. I'm just saying. The girl looks good. And I don't do a lot of makeup. In fact, I just put I clean my face, moisturize it, and my idea of makeup is mascara or sometimes lashes, which is rare. I put these strips on, and I only did them today because my damn mascara, honey. I had an eye infection, and so I have to get new mascara, so I can't use the old mascara, so I have to get new mascara, and so I just put these lashes on. But generally, it's mascara, lip gloss, and a little blush. Because we had some time I had some time before it was dinner time. I just did some work, hung around, and I love to dance. It is one of the ways that grounds me. It's one of the ways that gets me amped and excited and gets me moving. So I had like 11 dance breaks that I was doing. I was modeling my fits, getting myself all cute and ready to go for my birthday, and also just listening to more birthday messages that were coming in.
It's your birthday, bet contest, you in first
Place.
It's your birthday.
Hey.
Happy birthday, sis. I just wanted to wish you a good one.
Oh my God, I'm sweating. Was for my sister Unique, that's on my dad's side, and I don't know why I make the distinction, but I do. I've always wanted to model, so don't get me in front of the camera when I'm looking cute, honey. I'm going to strike a pose all the time. I'm going to hit you with a pose. I got to show these cheekbones. I'd be like, and that's what I did. When I met up with my Baba, I had given him a gift because he is just, he's deserving. He's deserving of that and so much more. Quick story about my Baba. So I call him my Baba. His name is Curtis, but I called him Mr. Curtis. And I'm just saying, everybody be jacked Mr. Curtis for me because we met over 20-something years ago when my daughters did this dance class called DGJW. It's called, this stands for Deaf Dance Jam Workshop. And met him over 20 plus years ago, and he invited me into this community called Momentum Education. And I'll share more about that later. It's an experiential workshop. Personal development. I think that's the easiest way for me to say that in this moment without going, getting too deep into it. And I love Mr. Curtis. I love him so much. And the reason I'm able to call him Baba is because one of the things that we were doing during our time at DGJW, my daughter's time at DGJW, when they were dancing there, my oldest daughter, Destiny, was dancing there, was we did this rites of passage program. And as part of the rites of passage, we were learning about various religions, and Yoruba being one of them. And so the men were Babas, and the the elders were Umis. And so I'm glad I have Baba in my back pocket because everybody tried to jack Mr. Curtis. And I'm like, all right, y'all want to call him Mr. Curtis? Whatever, y'all can have Mr. Curtis. But when I talk to my friends and family, I be like, my Baba. Because, sometimes you get a little possessive. I'm like, that's my Baba. That was my Mr. Curtis. But whatever, I digress.
What is it?
You'll look and you'll see. It's just a little something. It's not.
Okay. Okay, what team is this?
Okay, come on, you can do it. Think about it. SJ.
San Jose.
Nope. Try again.
St. John.
There you go. That's courtesy of Nyla Star.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then what's that?
Coffee?
From
Colombia.
Yes, I figured you could have coffee and then some. I don't know if you eat this, but I figured you could have some Girl Scout cookies.
Okay.
With your coffee.
Oh, the trefoils.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent.
Here's something else you need to know about Mr. Curtis. He said there isn't a Girl Scout cookie that he doesn't like. He's a phenomenal storyteller. You can find him over at TikTok at Mr. Curtis NYC, and wish him a happy birthday because it's today. He's like, you giving me a gift on your birthday? Generous as I am, because generosity deserves generosity, Anywho, that's what that was. We had a wonderful time. We had great food. We always have a good time when we're together, and we just be like yapping it up. I love him. I love my Mr. Curtis. And sometimes it works for me. And I start running out there calling him Baba. We're gonna have a serious problem. You hear me? Friday, my cousin had decided to take me to a graffiti class. And she took me to this graffiti class because one of the things that I'm doing as an open nester is really stepping into my creativity. What's your name, by the way?
Isabel.
Isabel, Kiki. Nice to meet you.
Kiki, nice to meet you. Are you guys from New York?
Born and raised, thoroughbreds. I used to be very challenged with art growing up. I never liked art class, specifically around coloring in lines. I didn't like music class when we had to learn an instrument. I just think I couldn't focus too much on that shit. And you had to color within the lines, and it just took too long because you had to focus hard on it. And I'm just like, I don't want to die. It's too much. It's too much. Get somebody else to do it. I colored outside the lines. My coloring was never really fully in. And so I don't like it. But I do consider myself an artist, but I'm an artist of a different kind. I'm an artist as it relates to the spoken word. I'm an artist as it relates to an orator. I'm an artist as it relates to the connection of people. I'm an artist as it relates to storytelling. I'm an artist of that kind. I'm an artist as it relates to creativity and so many other ways, but coloring and drawing and art, I know, like, however, I am pushing myself to have a different perspective. I'm pushing myself to challenge that and saying that was then, this is now. Perhaps you can have a different perspective or view of it. And you also get to know that I can just do it for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't got to be that serious. It felt serious as a child. It felt like all eyes were on me. It felt like they were grading me because they were. It felt like they were judging me because they were. And so now I just get to do it for the sake of doing it. So I'm challenging myself to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so we went to this graffiti class.
Me, you outside. Tagging up the walls, doing the legal things. No.
Feeling a little bit more confident?
No, but it's okay. I'm not gonna lie, no.
We know how to put color on the wall, right?
That's it. I know how to make a mess of things. Janika is also a Pisces. And so because she and I are both Pisces, when they asked us what is it that we wanted to create on the wall, we decided to go Pisces, right? Because at first I was like, I'm going to do open nester, but we had to come together and create something together. And so I was like, what is the thing that kind of bridges in terms of our commonality? And there's many things that we share in common, but I'm like, well, how do we draw that?
A lot of people gravitate to putting one color in each letter.
And the one thing that we drew was that of being a Pisces. So that's what we decided to do. But first, we were practicing, and I was practicing with my name, and it is what it is. It was what it is. Remember, I'm getting outside my comfort zone. Remember, I'm having fun. Remember, it ain't that serious.
That way, you basically just cut it in half.
That's the thing. So, I have no idea what the hell is happening right now.
It's that, trust the process. Trust the process. I promise you it's going to come together.
Okay.
As my grandmother used to say, shitting me. She said, trust the process, and trust the process we did. And it turned out.
Okay. When she purchased the package, it actually includes a take-home artwork for you, so you can create something that you wanted. I wanted to create an open nester sign, but the piece was too small for us to do it, so I did my name and she did her name. This was on Friday the 28th. Now, everyone was boycotting that day, so we felt okay in the sense that we were out and about and patronizing the business of the graffiti class because we had purchased it in advance. And we were also so very happy that when we took the Uber over, that the Uber driver was black. Yes, because we were supposed to just buy black. So we went to eat at a restaurant, speaking about intentionalities, because I forgot that was the theme of it. Intentionality is the theme of this video. We decided that we were going to eat at a black-owned restaurant. And so we went to this black-owned restaurant in Brooklyn called Blossoms. And what was dope about it was, one, that it was black, but it was so beautiful inside. It made you feel like you were in your grandmother's kitchen. I had no idea, no knowledge of that, but my cousin schooled me because she picked it. And she said that was the idea behind the creation, that the woman created it as her grandmother's home. And no detail was left unturned, and so much that they put the check inside an encyclopedia. Also, the menu was put in like a scrapbook. I mean, every detail was detailing. It was really nice. And the food was good. Cheers to being a Pisces, buying black, and to having a cousin as remarkable as I do. Thank you, cousin, for a great day. Before we can get into the brunch and before I show you that I need to be able to get ready. I need to get ready. And in getting ready for this daggone brunch, I had an appointment to get my makeup done. And I was late. Now, I wasn't late because of me. The stupid Uber. All right, I don't even want to relive it. But I was late. But I called and I said, listen, here's the situation. I'm going to be late. I want to know if that's okay. It's not going to be a problem. They said, no problem. So I get there and the young lady was like, no, we give 15 minutes grace, da-da-da-da. And I start crying. This 53-year-old woman started crying. I started crying because I had put so much planning into this day, so much emphasis on making sure that it went well. And then it just felt like this moment that it was for me to be able to have me take care of myself in terms of my look and getting myself together, that shit, it went haywire. And I was like, and the young lady, I cried. I ain't gonna hold you. I fucking cried. Woman said, well, you know what? I can do something, but it wouldn't probably be a full face. And I said, and straight up, because this is who I am. I said, well, I'm a beautiful woman. So it's all good. Like, I don't need a lot.
If someone saw this, they'd be like, lies you tell. This was another trust the process.
Makeup done at Sephora. Right after I was leaving there, I was going right to the restaurant. You know, maybe just the eyes. I could focus on one particular thing. And then she said to the other young lady that was sitting next to her, she's like, do you think that maybe you could finish the rest? And the other young lady was like, you can do it. Because at this point, it was about 40 minutes. Well, I think you can do it. You can finish it. And so she commenced to getting working on my face, honey. And she finished it within the time. She actually went over, but I made sure that I showed my gratitude for the work that she did, and I tipped her very, very, very well. And she was like, I feel bad. I don't want to see you cry. Listen, I know this next line ain't gonna go over well, but I was like, honey, I was acting like a Karen in that moment. But I did. I was, and I cried, and I got my face done. And it turned out beautiful. That's all I'm going to say about that. And the other thing that I did to ensure that it was really nice is that I got a Polaroid camera. And the intent behind that was to take pictures of folks as they come in so that I could use it as a table setting for them. They was rolling in. Now, remember I started the video with talking about intentionality. I wanted to ensure that my guests felt connected, not just to me, but to one another. And often when you have birthday brunches, depending on the amount of people that you have, obviously people are going to talk, but they'll talk to who's to the left of them. They'll talk to who's to the right of them. Maybe they'll talk to the person across the table. But generally, you can only engage with whomever is in your close proximity. And so I was like, well, how do I create this where I'm creating space for people to really connect, right? Because it wasn't a stand up, a mix and mingle kind of situation. So let the planning begin, baby. You hear me? Your girl did that, and did that I did. I'm going to pause for a moment and say that you're going to hear my full government name. My name is Keisha. Y'all know me as Kiki. And only if you know me from work will you know me as Keisha. Only if you are family do you know me as Keisha. And only if we have a good, rich history will you know me as Keisha. Other than that, it is Kiki to you. Capiche? Capiche. And one day I'll share why, how did I come to Kiki? Why is it that is not only exclusive to those people who have a good, rich history for me? And now sometimes I can't help it that, like, when I'm with, like, say my cousin, or she'll refer to me as Keisha. So then everybody else will start saying Keisha because she's saying Keisha. And I'm like, girl, I don't I'm not Keisha to you. I created a bingo game so that folks could communicate with one another, and it was very Kiki centered.
No, you don't have to write the answer. Just write the name. Yeah, it's more. The answer is more in the conversation. Come on, Nakia, get some names.
It was all about me, but it was also about them. It was about how we may have connected. So, for example, I said, who's traveled with Kiki internationally or domestically, right?
So we actually got to know each other better in 2013 when we all went to Ghana together.
Woo! Oh, my sister.
Right? That gives them an opportunity to see themselves in the question.
Where do we go?
Well, we've been plenty of places. Would you like me to name them all?
Name them.
We've been to Puerto Rico, we've been to Florida, we've been to South Carolina, we've been to North Carolina, we've been to, I haven't gone to Mexico with my mom. California. Huh? Mexico. Wait, what? No, she
Okay, that's it. That's it.
Me next. Sorry, babe. All of those same places, but then we went to Italy together. We went to Spain together. Yeah. Ghana together.
Oh, so you are the best friend.
She just tagged along on my travels.
Who else is a Pisces? Again, an opportunity to see themselves in the connection. I asked, who have I given advice to? And the question was, who hasn't she given advice to? And talk about it. Well, what was the advice that I gave you? What's the connection?
Where you are, and I'm actually in that space.
I know that's what.
I'm happy now. I'm divorced.
Who knows Kiki's middle name?
Rhea does. Yes.
Where did we travel to?
Knows where Kiki is. Oh, Reggie, you know where I'm traveling for my next international trip?
Yeah, we talked about it like.
Oh, we did. Where am I going? Tell the
to
people.
Peru. So I don't know where she's staying, how long she's gonna be there, but you need to share your location with everybody here.
Right. I'm going to Peru to experience ayahuasca.
Yeah, so you definitely need an emergency contact.
Hopefully a Peruvian.
I know. I heard people going, yay! No, it's not yay. And I was like, what is ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca is plant medicine. I am going to be going to Peru to have that experience. And I'm going with my cousin Janika. And so you got to stay tuned for the video about that, where I'm preparing for ayahuasca, where that's going to be modeling my next 2 videos in the next week or so.
So exactly. Ayahuasca and you do deep meditation, you put the root in, and really introspective. Okay.
Yay,
Vacation, next level, all of that stuff. Yes, elevation. Our practices. Who knows what religion I practice? I'm going to go to my friend down here, Nakia. Yeah. I feel like I'm in a church service. I'm like flashing, like,
Now we're popping out with this. We're getting the vibe.
So it was questions that was rooted in that, and it was dope because it gave them an opportunity to connect. Now, because of the way we were seated at the table, it made it a little difficult, but I was like, I don't care, yell, scream, do what you got to do, honey, to get these questions answered.
It's I two.
I don't know how she was freestyling. So
So the winner is getting a Sephora gift card.
And so people got to learn things about one another. We shared together. And like one of the questions, who has known me for 10 years or more? Anyone there, with the exception of guests that came with my friend, had known me for less than 10 years. I had friends at the brunch who were colleagues of mine.
Keisha. Where? At IDNYC. So I've known you for about, because we worked there since 2014.
I think, yes.
So 10 years. Over 10 years. Yes. And she's like one of my favorite people. But short story, I didn't like her when I first met her.
No way.
How could you not?
Yeah, I was like,
Tell a story. No, tell what she said. I've never heard. There's never been a person that I met that didn't like me. But anyway, tell why. This is me neither. But tell why. Listen to this crazy shit. She crazy as hell. Listen
I
to
used to
this.
be like, is she from the hood or not? Because the way that she speaks, every single word and every single letter, I used to be like, I don't know. She's confusing me. I'm like, I don't know who this girl is. Who is she? And then I was like, then we started joking, and I was like, oh my God, I love you. And I've been loving her ever since. And her family.
Yeah. I've always enunciated my words. I am of great clarity. I taught one of my cousins how to read. And when you're teaching a child to read, you have to enunciate. You have to speak clearly. And I wanted to make sure she sounded out the words. You know, it's like that, fulfill, go, stop. And I speak with such diction and clarity. And she seemed to have a problem with that because, why? Because I be from the hood that I can't speak proper? You have a problem with my proper speaking? She like, wait, my demeanor and the way in which I move lets you know that I'm about that life. But then when I speak, I think it scrambled her brain. But that just goes to show you that I can go from the streets to the boardroom. It's just what it is. I'm just saying. Betsy is literally one of my favorite people. I love you, friend. I'm just saying. I had people at my brunch who were obviously family members, my daughters.
How do I know my mom? She's my mom. I've been here for 19 years, and I have had the pleasure of being the youngest of three.
It is a pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love and appreciate my mom immensely. She does the world.
One more time, man.
The world to me and my sisters, and happy birthday.
My aunt, my cousins.
Yes, cousin. Before you knew yourself.
One other thing to say that everybody know. Although I'm the oldest, Keisha is the backbone of our family. She does everything. Every party. If you go into Cabo, she comes. Every event, she's there. If you need somebody to do an MC, she's there.
Somebody to marry you.
She's there. She's right. She's a jack of all trades. Love her. I mean, our family, I don't know how we survive without you. She's always there. Always.
Showing up part that really warmed my heart and resonated with me because my mother was an embodiment of showing up. My mother would show up. She had a showing up spirit. You hear me? There was nothing that she wouldn't do for you. There was nothing, no distance that would keep her away from a festivity. Not even money or challenges or her hip or her knee. Like she was going to show up. So I feel blessed to be able to have my aunt there and an elder there. And I'm sorry, Auntie, I'm not calling you old and I'm calling you an elder, but you are an elder in the true sense of the word. You know what I'm saying, right? To have you there to celebrate this wonderful moment with me. I'm so grateful for you and I love you. And thank you for what it felt like was a stepping in the absence of my mother. Thank you so much. I love you. Mother has passed. It's been 4 years now. She was diagnosed with cancer in October of 2020 and passed on November 5th of 2020, right before her 65th birthday. And so there was something so very special to me to be able to not just have family, but to have a family member who is the elder, someone who knew me before I knew myself. I had people at the brunch who I build relationships with because my daughter ran track.
Ran track together. Wow. So this is probably going to be
It's a 10 years.
Right? 10
Yep.
years now that I've known Keisha. So they're both in college. My daughter is a senior. She graduated in May. And I decided, just started.
or I've built relationships with because we ran for a particular student council.
We matched the energy. We were like running for student council, but it was really PTA.
Yep.
And so we ended up being on the board together and just grew as friends. She is a connector. She is authentic. She is loving. She is kind. She is just really a friend, a real friend, somebody that I
have a childhood friend who I went to high school with.
38 years.
Oh!
We met in high school at
Oh
the
my
age of 15.
God.
We have a lot of similarities. We're a couple of days apart. We're both poets and songwriters and rappers and all that stuff. We went to college together for a while as well.
For one year, yeah.
1 year. And only thing different is our career paths.
That's definite. A childhood friend who actually know me from my neighborhood. When we talk about longest running friends, we might be around the same time. How long has it been, Nicole, since you've been our friend? 38 years.
Same thing.
38 years. There's a seat next to Shalonda. You can sit next to my other 38-year-old friend. 38 years. A childhood friend knew me for 38 years, but yet they never knew one another. It's really amazing, right? The vastness of friendships and how you can have all of these different types of relationships, and some of them overlap, some of them connect and can know one another, and some of them have no idea of who one another are. But the joy of being able to bring these people together, I live for stuff like that. I live for connecting people. I live for being able to bring joy to people and to create community and to create love and fun. That is my thing. That actually what fuels me. And so that was the intention behind this beautiful, beautiful brunch. I asked folks to go around, say their name and how they knew me. And that was it. That was the only parameter. Say your name and how you knew me. It didn't matter to me, whatever else they wanted to say thereafter.
And what I love about Keisha is that she's actually Betsy's friend, because most of Betsy's friends are my friends. Oh wow! And so, no shade, but it's nice to know. It's nice to meet people outside of the circle and to click with them and to love them. And so, for me, it's like I gained a friend, but with a different personality from what I'm used to. And so, like, everybody always said, oh, Keisha was this bubbly person and everything like that. I'm not necessarily used to it, but I embrace it. And one of the things that I love about you is that even when you don't agree, or when you, whatever it is, you always find grace in it, and you always make people see the good in it. So I appreciate the friendship that we do have, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Em. I appreciate that. And I did not capture all of the beautiful things that was said about me because I didn't have somebody else filming. I was filming myself. I really wish I would have had someone else filming, not necessarily to show you all, but so that I could keep it for myself. But I have it in my head and my heart. And there was some beautiful, heartfelt moments. Friend Lisa said something that was so poignant and beautiful. She shared a beautiful story. And I really wish that I had what she had shared. I really do. But it's in my head and in my heart.
I don't take the ghetto away from you.
Bessie is a trip. You hear me? A trip.
Keisha gets me, calm down, and she gets me right. Yeah. And I thank her for being my sister that you are.
When Lisa shared what she shared, it was really beautiful and touching. And I had the camera, but I think I stopped it. Because when someone is talking to you and they're talking about you and they're sharing so deeply like that, it just felt weird to just be like, while she's talking. So I had to pause because I really wanted to connect what she was saying. But one of the things that she had said was, in addition to what you heard or will hear, because I don't know which order I'm doing this shit in, was how when we started out, we didn't start out on good ground. And we didn't start on a good ground because necessarily for me, we didn't start on good ground because of the way in which they introduced me into the organization. And she shared that, like, when I came in, I'm all bubbly. I'm like, hi, my name is Keisha Orr Hudson. I'm the new trainer. And because she had been training and doing the work as a trainer for so long and had trained thousands of people by herself, and now they're bringing somebody else in. But we ended up being really, really close. Now, Lisa and I, baby, We went through some things. You hear me? Couldn't be more grateful for the ebbs and the flows of the relationships, but how we ended up coming back to center. And it's rare that you can sometimes find friendships like that in a workspace. And to know that a lot of the people that I worked with, and to be able to have them be friends now is great. I remember Rebecca said at one point during the birthday celebration, she said, people were dogging out the organization that we worked with. And she said, well, I'm happy that I worked there, because had I not, I would have not had you all as friends. And that's big facts. Big facts.
Hi, I'm Reggie. Hi, Reggie.
Hi, Reggie. Thank you.
And I know Keisha through one of her beautiful daughters. Quick story. She actually didn't like me. I was still in her baby girl.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Well,
don't
insult him. I appreciate that. I heard my Brooklyn stripes, but no, I'm from Ohio. So who's this country Bama coming in? Some tension, but that's my mother-in-law, and
Because who started this shit? Betsy. I didn't like her at first, right? And so then that's how that started. I didn't like her at first. She didn't like me because I spoke proper. I would confuse her. And then Lisa starts with, I didn't like her at first. I didn't like her. But I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then it continued. And my cousin, who you're not gonna get to see speak, because again, I didn't have my camera up, and she was like, Keisha didn't like me either. Depending on what family unit I'm talking about, I'm the first. In other family units, I'm the first, I'm the second girl. Easy enough. So with my aunt, I was the first born. And so my aunt was like, it was because of me that she learned to be mother. And so when my cousin spoke, she was like, yeah, Keisha didn't like me because I was first. And then my aunt had my cousin, Samantha. And then they just was like, bye, Keisha. Kiki, bye. No, she didn't really discard of me like that. But they were just being really funny and was saying that I didn't like any of them people, or they didn't like me.
Beautiful soul, beautiful woman, amazing chef. And I'm so pleased to, year after year, watch her grow and be a part of this.
So you are the son-in-law that we like.
But I love everybody, and everybody loves me. One of the things that I wanted to do to show my gratitude and appreciation for all those in attendance was to write them a note card. I hand wrote note cards, and on the note cards, what I did was I wrote their name on the front, and then what I experienced them as in relation to that word. That part really touched me because I wanted them to know just how special they were to me, in the way that probably wouldn't have necessarily resonated, just kind of being there in the moment and saying thank you to them and giving a thank you speech and saying, I appreciate you all being here. I value their friendships and the relationships and the family members that I have. Like I say that, but I wanted them to have something kind of tangible in addition to the experiences that we had together. Thank you so much for coming out. I then asked everyone to share what their word was. They didn't have to read what it said, but to say their name and share what was on the note cards. And that's what you're going to experience next.
Hi! So, my word, Lord, there's so many letters in this one. But thank God to Betsy. Betsy helped me. It's effervescent. I'm going to show you the word. In case I pronounce it wrong, because Spanish people talk backwards.
My name is Nyla Starr, and my word is magnetic. I'm magnetic.
My name is Destiny, and my word is luminous.
My name is Amani, and my word is compassionate.
My name is Rachel, and I am illuminating.
Hi, I'm Samantha, and my word is radiant.
My name is Brenda, and my word is spirited.
Annie, vibrant.
I give you to Emily.
My word was nurturing.
Oh, Rebecca, and I am dedicated.
Jesse, and I am dynamic.
Nakia, and I am graceful.
They don't have a word, but I say thank you for coming.
You got it. Thank you.
Love you, boo. Me, Betsy. Generous.
And I'm tenacious.
When it came to the men, I was very intentional about the word, because when I think of Reggie, I think the first word that really comes to mind is wise and wisdom. And when I think of Sam, the same thing, like intellect, right? But I think when we think of men, we often think of them in that particular way, right? As intellects, if they are, not all of them are, but these men are, protectors, providers. And I wanted to share a different and a more kind of softer side to men, because I don't think men are often referenced. And with the words that I use, the words that I use for them are not generally words that go with men. And I wanted to not have that be the case in this particular situation. So that's why I chose the particular words that I chose for them, to break from the kind of patriarchal thing that we have come to know men to be, right? Strong, strength. And I'm like, nah, I'm giving y'all different words.
My name is Reggie, and my word is gentle.
Sam, genuine, Fordham University.
Freedom, and my word is authentic.
The thing was also so beautiful is that I don't talk to all of these people all the time. Sometimes it's actually maybe 1 or 2 times a year. Sometimes with some of them, it's actually just around my birthday time. We know that there's love there, but we have created so much history together that we can not see each other for extended period of time, check in with one another every now and then again. No, it's not just for my birthday. That's a lie. When I do have other events, I would do like Wind Down Wednesdays. Sometimes I'll invite them to certain things, but I think the point that I'm making is that we don't connect all the time, but we always pick up where we left off. And that is the beauty of a beautiful friendship. I think after the party was the after party, and after party was the hotel lobby. There was no hotel lobby. There was no birthday sex. It was none of that. But there was a good time had by all. It was quite a marathon of brunches. Brunch started at 2. We left out there about maybe 5:36, and continued the festivities until about like midnight or so. It was a good time. It was a good time. As I look at this beautiful Open Nesters graffiti and reflect on the faces of those who have been part of my journey for over a decade, I'm reminded that celebration isn't just about the day. It's about honoring connections that have sustained us through life transitions. I'd love to know, how do you celebrate yourself? What intentional touches make your celebrations meaningful rather than just fun? And if you haven't been celebrating yourself fully, what small steps could you take toward creating the recognition you deserve? Celebration is a form of self-love and ripples outward, teaching others how to value themselves too. As an open nester, we have the wisdom, time, and perspective to redefine celebration in this new chapter. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May it inspire you to create moments that honor not just the passing of time, but the richness of connection and the beauty of intentional joy.